It's a photo-taking, handshaking, hug-giving time for those who burnt the candle at both ends. They deserve it after all that swatting and sweating, more especially Asel Motala. He's the province's brightest spark. This Westville Boys High pupil earned 8 distinctions. For him, striking a balance was key.
There was so much stuff. We had, for example, the Matric dance, then at our school the D&D is a big event, then all the rugby matches, and in between you have your school life. And even in class, even though you're working, you have fun with friends, and you make memories as it's like your last year together as a group.
The province is known for its extreme rural-urban mix of schools. Top results were seen at both ends. Ndwedwe resident Maxwell Ngiba passed with full distinctions in all his subjects, including 100% in accounting. Orphaned at a young age, he was raised by his grandparents. He pushed past adversity with aplomb.
I want to be a chemical engineer. Sometimes I imagine myself having some of the best fuels around, taking the use of chemicals to the next level.
Out of the 1,723 schools, 116 achieved 100% pass rate. But in 2 schools, not a single matric learner passed. Swift action will be taken.
What is more surprising is that one of those schools had only 7 learners and the other one had only 12 learners. And then you ask yourself, what went wrong? But we are going to go there during the school functionality monitoring program and throughout the year.
Still an upward result trend with an 80% pass rate now in sight. Blaine Herman, SABC News, Durban.
Well, joining us now in our Durban studio, we have Maxwell Ngiba, the orphan from Ndwedwe, who obtained no less than 7 distinctions. Maxwell was raised by his grandmother after his mother passed away when he was only 6 years old. Good morning to you, Maxwell. Can you hear us?
Good morning, I can hear you very well.
Maxwell, thank you for joining us. A very impressive report card you scored there. Just tell us about your feelings now that the results are in and the pressure's sort of off. You must be very happy.
Yeah, I'm over the moon. I'm so excited. I'm very happy, and I'm humbled by the fact that I know deep down in my heart that it's all by the grace of the Lord.
Maxwell, tell us a little bit about the secret of your success and about your history a little bit.
I have a very bad history, as one would say. I lost my parents before I completed my 1st grade. I've been living with my grandparents since then, working very hard, of course, burning the candle at both ends, as you said, and believing in the Lord. It's the very reason why I'm here.
Thank you, Maxwell. Don't go away. I'm going to come back to you because I want to ask you a couple of other questions. But with me in studio here in Johannesburg, we've got some of the top performers as well in the Gauteng province as well as around the country. I've got Wini-Louise Myburgh. They're all from the Afrikaans Hoer Meisies School in Pretoria. Wini-Louise Myburgh in position number 1. Then I've got Nicole Rabie in the middle as well as Elizabeth Bekker. Now, Wini-Louise, let's start with you. Can you just tell us about your successes and what stood out for you during this time with the results?
Last year I got my 9 distinctions, and I was chosen as the best mathematics student in the country. And yesterday morning I came in 3rd overall in Gauteng. I'm very pleased with my marks and my results. We worked really hard and we had brilliant teachers and everyone really just gave their everything, and I'm very pleased that we did get the acknowledgement that I think we all deserve.
No, you guys certainly do. I mean, 9 distinctions is no joke. Nicole, I wanted to ask you next about, just tell me a little bit about your success, what you've done, and then also the secret to it, and good teachers, good parents. What has been your experience?
Well, firstly, I got my 8 distinctions in my subjects, and I was awarded with the prize for the best English first additional language in Gauteng. The secret to the success, and I must be quite frank and say it's something I only discovered recently, you have to plan ahead, you have to manage your time, so as to, you have to reach your dreams and your goals while staying balanced. Studying the night before the exam won't work, that I learned the hard way. Yes, but sticking to consistent hard work, sticking to consistent revision, that was my key to success now, and I think the support also from our parents in the school and our friends, that was a big key.
Now, Elizabeth, tell us a little bit about what you did. 9 distinctions, 8 distinctions. I mean, that's a little bit over the top. Is it a bit OCD, don't you think?
Well, I think I'm hardly one to comment, but I received 8 distinctions as well. And I was also, yesterday I was, they said I came second in Gauteng overall, in the public school section. So yes, I'm also a bit overwhelmed, but very glad.
Only second place? First loser, they normally say. You're happy with that?
I'm very happy with that.
I'm just teasing you, Elizabeth. I want to go back to Maxwell. Maxwell, are you still with us?
I'm still with you.
Max, tell me about your plans for the future now after what's been a very successful sort of school year for you and great results. What are you looking forward to in the next couple of years?
Thank you. I want to study chemical engineering at the University of Witwatersrand in Gauteng, and perhaps work my way up there and one day get my title changed.
You're not afraid of coming up to the big city up here and at Wits?
No, not at all. I have a couple of relatives down there. I've been there for quite some time now. Yeah.
And you're sure you'll be full bursary and everything will be sorted? You're coming to the big city?
Yeah.
Well, Maxwell, thank you very much for joining us. That's Maxwell Ngiba down in Durban, a man who overcame great adversity to be very successful, and a real story of how you can overcome, and there's no excuse really for you to get good results in school. All it takes is a little bit of commitment and hard work. Now, Wini-Louise, you are the top math student in South Africa, that's right?
Oh, that's correct, yes.
There always seems to be a problem in South Africa with math. Students in general really battle with it. What's been your secret to being successful in mathematics?
I think a great component is obviously your teachers. I had amazing math teachers. I really enjoyed math, and yeah, I think it's constant hard work. It doesn't matter how well you understand maths, you have to keep on practicing. Practicing, that's all we did in our whole matric year. We did most of our work in grade 11, so when we came to matric, it was just revision and over repetition. So I think that maybe is the success. You just have to keep on going. And obviously, when you enjoy something, it comes easier. So you just have to change your mindset. Everyone has this mindset that maths is really, really difficult, but yeah. I think as long as we believe we can do it, we can all do it.
And have a little bit of fun with it, I suppose.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the secret to all success. Now, Nicole, 12 years, it's a very long time. Is there anything if you look back now at your school career, as it were, is there anything you do differently starting at grade 1?
Well, if I think back at the days I spent in grade 1, those are some days I spent very seriously, perhaps too serious. I remember a day I was sitting, we had just started learning how to write and so, and the teacher gave us an exercise. We had to write the same letter over and over again all across the page. And I was sitting doing this with my elbow a bit over the table, and a boy walked past and he accidentally bumped my elbow. And then obviously the letter I was busy writing was flawed. And instead of erasing it and just rewriting it, I started crying. And I think it's there that my perfectionism kicked in. And moving on to grade 2, I had a habit of learning all the big words I could possibly learn. Astronomical was my favorite one. And suddenly everything, instead of big, our playground was astronomical. And the dollhouse I got for my birthday was astronomical. But looking back and in retrospect, I would say doing something different, I would have liked spending a little bit more time having fun when I was that young. Because things get more serious as you move on. But for me, it's always been this drive to excel at school. And perhaps you should have a little bit more fun while being young. But I can add to that, all the fun I could have missed out on, it was compensated and exceeded in office. We had so much fun at school. And so I can say I'm happy with the 12 years I spent at school.
Don't worry, there's still a lot of time in your life to have fun, my dear. I wanted to ask you, Elizabeth, because you're the one with a big mouth here in the group. The Gauteng Premier, Nomvula Mokonyane, yesterday said that female pupils are the future presidents of South Africa. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I'll only say this. Margaret Thatcher once said...
the Iron Lady of all, that's the one you're going to choose?
If you want something said, ask a man. If you want something done, ask a woman.
If you were the president, of South Africa and you were elected at the end of April this year to be the president of South Africa, what would be your priorities in office for the next 4 years, 5 years?
Well, that's actually a quite difficult question. I would definitely say education, because I firmly believe that, especially in your primary school, you lay the foundation for the rest of your life. And I would definitely focus on education. And yes, I think so. I'm not going to touch on ETOL. I'll just skip that part, but education will be fine.
Well, you're a very good politician. I think you're going to do very well going forward, my dear. Wini-Louise, just tell me about your dreams and aspirations and where you want to go next and what you want to do and how you're going to change the world.
This year, I'm going to start studying accounting at the University of Pretoria. I hope to someday go into the business world. I think by changing the world, I don't have to even think about going 10 years in the future or 7 years into the future. I think you must just decide, I'm changing the world where I am now. And even if it just starts in my house, I mean, if my brothers see, yes, it pays to work hard, I'm changing the world one step at a time. So wherever I'm going, I'm changing it wherever I am at that moment. So I cannot tell you in 10 years I want to do this, in 20 years I want to do that, but at this moment what I'm doing now, I'm trying to change the world.
Fantastic, and that's the only way that one can really affect the world is to be in the present moment and to live it through your example.
Yes.
In the end.
That's
Look,
the truth, yes.
it's really nice to hear that someone of your age can be as wise as that. Never mind clever. Nicole, just tell me quickly about your plans for the future. You're also going to become an accountant. Looks like we have enough accountants in the world.
Yeah, let's leave the accounting to Winnie. I'm going to study medicine at the University of Pretoria. Yes, and then I want to specialize in something like neurology or something that would put the same challenges in my way regarding the skills I have to acquire in the years to follow. So I'd like to have a challenge to make a difference in people's lives. Yes, I love my research and development, so I'd like to improve the living conditions and the quality of life of the people around me.
That's fantastic to hear. You know, you're very conscious, and that's great to hear. Our future is in very good hands. What are you going to, other than becoming the first female president of South Africa, what are you going to, what else do you have on the card?
I'm going to study electronic engineering at the University of Pretoria next year. And well, I want to get my bachelor's degree in electronic engineering, but as Nicole also said, I would like to enter in a research and development field in engineering after, and also do postgraduate studies.
Now, across the board, what are your friends, your group, your peers, what did they say when they saw you got like almost 30 distinctions between you? Obsessive compulsive disorder, don't you have any friends?
I know we have no friends.
We are each other's friends. Just joking.
The one thing that made AFIS especially special to me was that they supported us immensely. I got so many messages saying, we're so proud of you, well done, you know, we support you, we're really well done with your hard work and well done with your achievements as well.
Yeah, it's not only the support, it's everybody around us at school as well. They perform so well academically. So it's motivation mutually, because everybody motivates each other. It's you'd like to. It's nice to say to a friend, "Well done," and we're so proud of them at home as well.
Yes, we speak about the AFI sisterhood, and really each message and each phone call is just you realize that your achievements are really important to the school, to your friends and everyone. I mean, yeah, we love each other. And in AFIS also academics are very important. I mean, really, they focus on that. So it's not as if you get 90% for a subject, people think you are a nerd or a freak. I think it's some of our top leaders in the school, the past, the present, the future, they are the academically strong ones. I think, yeah, no, we have friends. We really do.
And what about balance? Do you do other stuff? Do you balance the academics with sport, for instance, or you know, other cultural activities like dance and so forth, or is it singular focus on academics?
I know.
No. You know, we do our sport. I know Winnie played netball and I did the hockey and so on.
We were in a debating team together.
Yeah, we were in the debating team, and me and Elizabeth also did the English debating.
Okay.
The public speaking, yes. No, the balancing act, I mean, it is so important to stay well balanced. You cannot only focus on your academics. And just living a healthy lifestyle.
Finally, I wanted to ask you about your parents and their contribution to your schooling. Do you have parents that were sitting with you every day and working with you, or were they a little bit more free about your, you know, your role at school?
My parents were so supportive. I mean, I think they had a huge contribution to my results. My parents never pushed me. They never expected better results. They were glad for any results they were glad about any results that I got. They never pressured me. They never sat with me working. They never forced me to work. I had great parents. My family, everyone, every single person in my life were very supportive. They were great.
Yes, my parents also, I would say, very supportive. But I'd have to add to that. I set to work with school in a very independent way. I think in grade 4, my dad showed me, this is what a brain chart looks like. You're going to use this to study, and that was that. So it was. I did the work on my own. I was left on my own, but the support was always there, and they were always proud when I achieved something. And I think that was my biggest goal, just to have my parents proud.
I entirely agree with them. I think the independence we learned at high school will definitely come in handy at university as well. But as I said, I agree. My parents loved me, and they said, any results are good results for us. Just go with it.
Well, guys, I think you've made more than just your parents proud. I think you've made an entire community proud, and fantastic work. I mean, what's it, 26 distinctions between the three of you. That's absolutely fantastic. Very well done. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you very much.
Those are some of the top performers in South Africa.